Pedro from A&P-REACTS. I'm here with Dmitry from 1914. How are you doing today?
Fine. Hello.
I want to thank you for taking the time to sit down with me and talk a little bit about the band and a little bit about the album, because I'm sure you have a busy schedule, and I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down today and chat.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your request, because for me it's really a great experience, and I love your video and all your reviews and YouTube channel. So it's awesome for me too. And thanks for this.
Let's start off with the title of the record. So, The Blind Leading the Blind. What was the message that you... I think I know what you intended with that title, but what was your intention behind that title?
As you can see, art, as you can check it, the death leading all soldiers from all sides. There's a Germans, French, Americans, British soldier, and everyone lose. There is no winners in this massacre. There is no winners in trenches. Everyone lose and everyone dies. And every side was blind, and that's why death leading these blind soldiers, this blind this blind and stupid people who creating this war, who started this war. So there is no heroes and no winners in the trenches, in the mud. It's just death, suffering, and that's all.
There's no honor.
No honor.
I agree with that, and that's kind of what I thought you had in mind, specifically also with the album cover that you guys used. It's very visual, and it really gives that impression. Do you feel that about not just World War I, but conflicts in general? Do you find that to be a common denominator across all conflicts that mankind has had through time?
It's a little bit complicated question and big question. As for let's start from art. Yeah, it's we took as a basic art from John Singer Sargent. Yes, it's called Guest, and we collaborate with this basic art and preparing our vision of this war, our vision of these sites, and as I told you previously about no one wins. So about all this war, for me, it's some kind of I will try to explain from a different side, because I'm a war archaeologist. I'm a lot of years, over 10 years, I'm digging these dead soldiers who died here in Ukraine, in the Carpathian Mountains, in the Volyn Forest, and this is my experience, and this is my feelings, and this is my passion. When you dig this dead soldier, you're sitting near these bones, talk with these bones, talk with the skeletons, look at all this stuff. It was a human. 100 years ago, it was a human with smiling faces, with children, with mothers, maybe wife at home. But now it's just bones and just corroded artifacts. And all it's give for me a huge, maybe it's a bad word, but inspiration. It's given me a lot of understanding of this temporary of life and this madness, and I don't understand why people kill each other every time. And for me, it's question number one when you sit near these bones. Man, what are you doing here? For why you dying? For some Kaiser, for some flags, for some idea, for why? It's this price you pay, and I don't accept it, and I don't understand it. And I'm trying to explain my feelings and my passions about this war, about this dead soldiers, what I'm digging, about this artifacts, what I'm collecting, and all this stuff. I cover it in the music, in the lyrics, in the music.
How is it for you, the creative process, to transform what you have in your mind when you start thinking about a specific track and then to put it actually on paper or on record? Do you have a specific method that works for you, or each song in each of the records was done with a different approach? How is the work behind the scenes?
Okay, I will try explain about Blind Leading the Blind, how it was made. I spent over 1 month in France. I just took my backpack and go to France, like hitchhiking and traveling between Borden battlefield, Soma battle, Argon forest, and all these places and battlefields of Great War. And I'm spending time in just in the old trenches that I'm sleeping. I just took my sleeping bag and go to the forest behind the Fort du Amont. It's a part of Verdun battle. And I just spend a few nights in an old trench in the forest. I wanna got it. I wanna feel it and spend these nights here in the trenches. And it gave me an inspiration. And when I'm sitting at these trenches in the night and I'm looking on the stars, I'm talking with these dead soldiers who talk with me, of course, in my head. I hope I created some lyrics, some messages. And when I came back to Ukraine, I actually came back with a whole album in my head. When I visited Fort War in France, and I saw a picture of this last pigeon. And for me, and I read this one, the last. There's our last pigeon, it says Modera pigeon, and I read this story about defenders of Fort War, about this 600 of men, of brave French men who totally killed in fights against over 5,000 of Germans. And I understand, yes, this one, it's a great part, and it's grow up in my head, like a song, like a lyrics. And actually, I'm visiting all these places, and I'm preparing. I give it. I took all this inspiration from these places and from this history. I'm traveling in the small villages of France, and I saw these monuments of the soldiers of Great War, and I understand here the people remember this part of history, and it's an important part of French history, and it gives me inspiration too. So I spent 1 month in France and go back home with a totally full album in my head.
Wow.
It works something like this.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, that's incredible. So you're a very visual person. You're able to absorb that and then immediately start the process behind it in order to create the tracks. That's really incredible. Talk about deep diving into the lyrics. You're not just sitting at home watching videos on YouTube of things that happen in history. You actually are immersing yourself into what happened during that time to pull as much information and as much inspiration from those battles into your music.
Yes, for me, it gives inspiration, and actually, even in Carpathian Mountains, you go over the top of the mountains. You dig holes, dig this old trenches. You find some artifacts. You find some shells, bombs, grenades, and it still works. And you deactivated it. Yes, I'm deactivating this stuff by myself. And I collected this stuff, and I have a lot of shells and grenades from First World War, which I deactivated by myself. And when you screw this all iron, it gives you inspiration too, because it can just blow up in every second. And it's some part of adrenaline and some part of this history. You're singing about war and about soldiers who died of this war. So here the artifact of the Great War, and it's still working, and you can die. Let's try to deactivate it.
At that time, you're almost transporting yourself to that same place in time when that artifact was not an artifact, but was actually a weapon.
Totally, yes. Yes, I'm always transport my mind in all these lyrics, in all these trenches which we talk about. And as you can see, mostly our lyrics from a soldier, not from a third person. He goes to the battlefield and he died. No, I'm dying, I kill you, or always I'm. Because it's my mind, and I trying to explain how this soldier feel, how this soldier died, and I was this soldier.
Almost like a diary.
Yes. It's a diary, but it's half historical diary and half a diary of my feelings.
Your own interpretation.
Yes, something like this.
This is incredible. Now, listening to you and now thinking about the record, a lot of things started to make sense for me because the way the record is put together and the way the songs are coming at you. I want to talk to you about two specific songs on the record. First, I want to talk to you about Beat the Bastards, the Exploited cover that you guys did. I was kind of surprised. I mean, I was surprised and I wasn't. Okay, so I was surprised to see a cover from the Exploited on this record because the two styles are different. But then again, when you look at the lyrics from that song, that's a song that totally fits within this record. Yeah. So it was like, I'm surprised, but then I'm not as surprised anymore because this makes sense. So the question I have for you is, why this cover? Are you a fan of The Exploited? Are you a fan of this song? Or did you feel, or both maybe, did you feel like this song fit into this record lyrically absolutely perfect?
Both of this, let's call it position. First of all, of course, I'm a Exploited fan. I grew up, and actually as a musician, I came from a hardcore and punk movement. I'm playing over 20 years some hardcore punk music. So for me, it's my it's a music what I love actually. Bad Religion, Social Distortion, Misfits, Black Flag, Exploited. It's my kind of music, and I love it. And actually, for me, Exploited is a great band, and I want to cover this song because I love this song and I love this band, and it's totally fit, as you told previously, and you got it, and you understand it. It's totally fit with the mud, with this trenches, with this war, and with this intentions, with all this stuff, because the lyrics of Exploited is some like about this creepy political who prepared all this shit, and that's you dying and you got this shit and you trying to live with this shit, with all these politicals who make this war for you and other stuff. And important thing, when I read a book a lot of years ago, I read a book about Soma battle, and in one on one page I just check some memories from a soldier who told about, and we start to attack, but we were really afraid, and we lying on the ground and cannot go because our legs didn't want to go. And our lieutenant just took his gun, shooting in the air, and started screaming to us, come on, you fucking cunts. So without parental advisory. So let's go, fucking cunts, let's beat that bastards. And I remember this, let's beat that bastards, let's get this Bosch's diet, and all these messages. And I just remember this, beat the bastards, Soma battle, beat the bastards. And in my mind, it collaborates with these tracks. And when we prepared this album, I talked to my guys, we must cover this song because it's totally fit with the lyrics, with the mood, and with the message. As for me, it's not just a Exploited cover song. It's about this book. It's about British and actually Scottish soldier who were lying in this mud, afraid of the attack, but they heard this. Come on, let's kill this fucking count. Let's beat the bastards. And they go and they killed and they win or died, but they go. And for me, the mod of the song, current mod of the song, is the same like this: attack and let's beat the bastards. You saw the enemy and you kill or be killed.
Or be killed, yes. It made total sense to me. Like I said in the beginning, I was a little queasy about it, but then I realized that this song fits in the record just like a glove. Now, the second song that I want to talk to you about is the 100 Days Offensive. I think this is an absolute masterpiece of a song. I get chills every time I listen to this song. And this whole song to me just really needs to be dissected, because you have a song that really transports the listener to the trenches. It really does. If there's one song on this record that does it, this is it, in my opinion. And you get that first person account of what really means to be in that position. You have some of the lyrics on that song said, forget about honor, forget about pride. You're just trying to survive while you're crawling in the mud. That to me, I think it's one of the purest representations of what happens in that situation. When you're thinking of this song, and then you incorporated also some clips from All Quiet on the Western Front, how do you put a song like this together? Because to me, this song has so many components. You have the movie pieces in it. You have that first person account. It starts with 4 people. As the song progresses, people continue to die until the end when there's nobody. How did this song came about in your mind? How did you? How was the thought process? Because to me, this song is so complex at so many levels.
First of all, about this song, some idea of these lyrics and actually part of these lyrics I took from an old movie. It's called "Oh, What a Lovely War." Maybe you heard some. It's an old one. Came from maybe 1965 or 1967, something like this. And it was a musical film. I don't know how it called in English. Just maybe comedy musical film. You call it like this? Yeah, musical.
Yeah, musical.
Musical. So and it's about a Great War. And actually, in this movie, I heard first to this part like bombed last night and bombed the night before, and they sing in like a Martian song.
Yeah, like Jolly.
Yeah, like Jolly, a soldier, British soldier, took in the shells, took in some ammos, and gives it to cannons and singing like a bombed last night and bombed the night before. And for me, it was some fuck. They singing so funny and so jolly about their dying, about this their maybe last night. So yes, they not afraid, totally not afraid. They accept it, and they actually they're brave men. They are brave men, and I took this part and just started to collaborate with this. This is not a typical black metal song. It's mostly, for me, some like doom vibes. So, yeah. And I'm trying to collaborate these lyrics. This a few their words like "bombed last night" and "bombed the night before" with this music, and I heard yes, it works. It works, but there's a two. I need more. I need more lyrics, and I'm start to creating a lyrics. Second part of the song, actually about barbed wire, about forget about honor, forget about pride. This is my part. What which I write and compose to this song. But first part I took from this movie, and actually to this movie it came from totally from Great War fronts, from the trenches. It's a soldier song of authentic soldier song from the trenches from a 1915 year, from a Great War. So for me, it's some like a collaboration with authentic soldier song, and I'm just creating a second part of the song, lyrics.
Yeah, and you're giving it a different mood.
Yeah, and I'm a totally different mood. And when I place the song beginning intro from All Quiet on the Western Front, because for me it was totally fit in my head, these lyrics, and forgive me, I will write to your parents, and
Yeah,
he asking about forgiveness. I very love this book. I very love this film, both of film, old one.
the black and white one, right?
Yeah. So when I created these lyrics and when I heard the music which my guys prepared, I already know here must be this dialogue here in the intro, and in between of this song, I must place this speech of a German general from a second movie.
From the more recent one, yeah.
Yeah, and you will understand first this intro about forgiveness, about I don't want to kill you. We are people. We are human. I just kill you because you can kill me, and but I don't want to do it. And the second one part about Germany will give you a medal if you will go to war and kill. You will have some pride. You will, and all this political shit, all this imperial political shit. Go to war, kill people, and you will get a medal. No, you just went back home wounded without legs, but with a medal. So, and for me, it's some like playing with these messages and with this mood of this song. And after that, go to war and took your medal. Forget about all honor, forget about all pride, because medal didn't cost it. You have one life, and you must just survive. That's all. That's your job on the war. You are not a hero, totally not a hero, just trying to survive. Digging as deep as you could, and forget about killing, about everything. Just forget. Trying to survive, and after all this madness, all this shit, went back home.
Yeah, I think the family back home doesn't really care if you come home with a medal or not. I think they just want you to come home with your life.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, that song is just has such a powerful message all the way through. And the thing about it that was really interesting is I had never watched All Quiet on the Western Front until I heard the song. Listening to the song got me to actually go and watch both versions of the movie, the black and white and the color, with my son. We both sat down and watched the two movies. So thanks to you guys, I discover a movie that I had no idea. He's the one actually that found out. He went on YouTube and found out where that you guys had taken those clips from, and he's like, "Oh, now we got to watch those movies." And so you guys were the inspiration behind us going and discovering those movies. I can see you're a big history buff. You're a big war history buff. So if you had to pick your 5 top war movies of all time, what movies would it be?
5, yes?
Yeah, 5.
A little bit complicated because I have
it's hard to come down to 5, I'm sure.
Because I have maybe 15, 17. Okay, The Lost Battalion. As for me, is totally good one, good movie about Mazargon, about American soldiers. And if you didn't watch it, try it.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's a good one. Lost Battalion. Path of Glory, totally good one film. The black and white film. Maybe 1955, something like this. Path of Glory, Blue Max. Yes, Blue Max. It's about flying killers of the Great War. Some like a Red Baron, a new one, but Blue Max, it's an old one film, and it's totally good. Oh, What a Lovely War. It's some comedy film, but it gives you an inspiration, and it's a very huge background of all these messages, of all this. You just saw on a screen generals who dancing and singing and eat something, and with good suits, and you understand here's the generals on some events in a palace, and they are dancing, and here's poor soldiers in the mud, and they are singing. They both are singing, but different songs and with the different messages in the same time. And it's good, and it works. And of course, All Quiet on the Western Front. Both of them.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I mean, of all the ones you mentioned, that's the only one I've seen. So I think I have to go back now and find those other four and look into it. My war movies, if I had to pick, would be more into more modern wars like Vietnam War and that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of Platoon and Hamburger Hill. Cliffs of Gallipoli actually is a great movie as well. So you just gave me a lot.
I'm a fan actually of Band of Brothers, if you know for this. Totally awesome film, amazing film, one of the best war film what I ever saw. But it's from another different band and different period.
Yeah, much different. Now the record the record was re-released with Napalm Records on May 31st, if I'm not mistaken. Now, do you guys have any plans to re-release the first record?
Probably not, because we didn't go. We didn't get any proposal. First of all, about this, and our first album was released by Archaic Sound. It's a Ukrainian label, and actually, it's still our first album and split with American band Smith and Wesson. It's still on this label, so I think they will re-release it maybe on vinyls or some interesting type of collected stuff of CDs, something like this. But we didn't have any proposal to re-release it on Napalm Records.
Now, with Napalm's signing you guys, releasing this album, I'm a perfect example of this. The album, The Blind Leading the Blind, completely went under my radar last year when you guys released it originally. Now it's being released on a major label. Obviously, it's going to get a lot more attention. Do you feel like that finally people are going to hear the quality of your music and the quality and the craftsmanship that you guys put into this record with this partnership with Napalm, that this is going to open the doors for you guys to a whole new world out there?
I think yes, because they give to us a huge promotion, of course. Even you know about right now know about this album, and a lot of people all around the world know about this album, about our music, and about our messages. And now, when we go to few weeks ago, we first time have a show in Belgium and at Netherlands. So we just play in the first time, and people know our song. They singing together with us this song, and it was totally amazing because we are first time playing in Belgium, Netherlands, and they singing this song with us, and all these places were fitted with people. There's a lot of people. I even cannot count it. We actually play at the Pit Fest at Netherlands. We play 2 times. We play 2 shows in the first day at the main stage, and after that we get a proposal from organizer. So guys, can you play a second time? Of course, and we play punk stage. It calls Trust Bus, and it's totally and it was totally awesome because on the main stage we played like a typical metal band, with a big stage, with all this stuff. Yeah, just a typical metal band. But on a crust stage, we play like a hardcore band. So and I love this mix, because here in my brain I'm still a hardcore punk guy. So and for me this kind of gigs, some about my youth, and about my about music what I love. So and we actually very glad to play at this gigs in Belgium, Netherlands. So we got a lot of letters from Germany, from France. So guys, I just discovered your music. I discovered your band. Thank you a lot. We got a lot of, for me it was wow, really awesome. We got a lot of mails from United States. Guys, I'm just discovered your band, and I wanna talk, and I wanna told you about my family, about my history, about my daddy. He was at France, he was wounded, or he died at France. A lot of letters, and you read it and you understand. Wow, it works for people. People understand your message. Yes, it's about history. It's about this madness, and we. When I read this letter, I understand. Yes, I'm totally at this place, and I'm totally do right thing. So and I appreciate all these letters and all this feedbacks about people. And actually, Napalm Records do for us this promotion. They prepare for us this promotion, and a lot of people start to communicate with our music, our band, and I hope it will be just will grow, and we can spread our idea all around the world.
You mentioned a little bit about your live performance, the shows that you do live. I've seen some footage and some pictures of some of your live shows, and you guys transport the mood, the atmosphere of the music into the stage performance. I mean, you guys are all dressed up. You guys bring in. It's almost like it's almost like a play. Do you know what I mean? It's more than just a band playing their songs. You really transport the audience to that time period, and you give almost a feel of truth to what you're saying, to your music. It comes from a deep place, and that's transmitted through all of the live show. Is that an important piece of the band when you guys perform live, to have that atmosphere coming from the tracks through you then into the audience?
Totally yes, because actually I don't want to be yet another one metal band or yet another one hardcore band. I have a lot of expression, feelings about this war, and I want to explain this to all people. And that's why I try to communicate with people at our show. Actually, I'm mostly singing in the crowd, in the pit, and I'm just watching in every eyes. I'm covered with mud, and I'm walking around these people. I'm not on stage. I'm not a fucking rock star, and I'm not standing on the stage all my show, and I'm singing songs about oh, here's the goat, here's the Satan, blah 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 blah. Fuck this shit. No, I'm singing about human behavior. I'm singing about history, and if you go to our shows, you can touch it. You can touch this mud. You can saw this madness of war in my eyes, and actually I can go straight to you and cover it, and I'm just took my mud and covered your face with my mud, and you can feel it. You understand it. War is not something abstract from somewhere. No, here's war. Here, check it, feel it, take this mud. This is war. We are about war, and we are about history. So you can feel it. This is a vibe what we give to people, and for me it's very important to. It's some like a lessons. It's some like a historical lessons about this period, and we often use big video screen. And when we sing the song behind us on the stage, there's a lot of video footage from original video footage from a Great War. and people just hear my lyrics, watch these videos about dead soldiers, about big shells, trenches, explosives, and a lot of mud with a with the body parts and with guts. This about this all madness, and you saw it. And some around the pit, guy covered in mud, just screaming something. So, hear the war. War is a hell. So, and if you wanna taste it, got it.
If you want to taste it without actually going to war, come to one of your shows.
Better come to show, not to war.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. One last question for you before I let you go. Where do you guys go next? Where can fans see you guys next? What are your short-term plans for the band? Whatever you can share.
Actually, for this year, we have a lot of European gigs. Next one will be in Germany. Yes, in Germany, in Flammen. In Flammen, I hope I correct pronounce it. In Flammen, open air. After that, we will play at Gotham Fest, Slovakia. Just forgot all this schedule. Some in Budapest, in Austria, and a lot of gigs actually. And we will end it this year with a huge and awesome festival like in Holland Metal Meeting. We will back to Netherlands and play this really big and huge and awesome festival. So this year we have a lot of gigs, and I hope Napalm Records prepare for us for the next year numbers of this gigs and festival, and we can spread our music all around the Europe. Maybe I hope sometime in Great Britain and United States and Canada, because a lot of Canadian soldiers was fought in the Great War, and we have a song about Passchendaele Hell. It's about British and Canadian soldier at Passchendaele, and of course I wanna talk and I wanna tell these stories in every country who lost their grandfathers and just young soldiers in this war.
Well, I really hope that next year brings you to North America, Canada, US. I think it would be absolutely amazing to see you guys here on this side of the pond playing some of your music to an audience that I'm sure would be more than welcoming to what you guys have to offer. You have a very specific live sound show from what I can gather, and I think in North America that would be really well received. So I hope everything goes extremely well for you guys, and in 2020 we'll get to meet in person, and I'll get to get some of that mud on my own face.
I hope too, and yet another one small part of our show, of course, my microphone stand. My microphone stand, it's a working rifle Mosin Nagant, and it's still working. And always.
Oh, it's not a prop?
No, it's a normal, typical old one Mosin Nagant.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So, and we often, when we cross the border, prepare into some problems with this.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's still working. Of course, I have all needful documents about the rifle, but I don't know. and it's not some wooden or paper stuff. No, it's still working, and
it's the real thing.
Yes, it's a real thing.
Just like the music.
Yeah, just like a mud.
Just like the mud, yes, definitely just like the mud. Dmytro, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate this chat today. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, perfect.